This is Nathan from Fingers of the Sun. You're listening to the Literati Records podcast.
Heart skipped a beat. Years have passed and now at last you're receiving mental pictures where you're in bed and fast asleep. On the day that you were born, the sky was bright and fiery orange, and the words collect your heart skipped a beat. Years have passed and now at last you're receiving mental pictures where you're in bed.
Welcome to episode 50 of the Literati Records podcast. I'm the host Marcus, and I sincerely want to thank you for tuning in, turning on, and supporting independent music. 50 episodes. Wow, man, the time has really flown. When I put out the first episode at the beginning of March, I told myself that I had to commit to getting one episode out per week. Well, since the beginning of April, we've managed to get out 3 per week. It certainly hasn't been easy, but I can tell you this, it has been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. But the best part has been all of the incredible people I've met while doing it. So many talented artists have been on Local Mix Monday and have done features on the show, I can't even begin to list them all. It's Kurt and the guys at Lost Lake, the bartenders at Skylark and High Dive, the crew at Three Kings, Randall and the amazing folks at the Walnut Room, as well as Michelle and what's becoming my second family at Larimer Lounge. It's all the sound guys, the doormen, and the wait staff who support the scene. It's Lucas at Hot Congress, Chuck at Snappy Little Numbers, James and Ethan over at Holy Underground, and of course thanks to Dave and the amazing Wax Trax crew that made Record Store Day 2013 so special, with 2 days of awesome local artists. It's everyone who provides the time, talent, and infrastructure that supports our unique scene. But most importantly, I want to thank you, the listeners, for lending your ears and feedback. And I look forward to bringing you the next 50 episodes. So thank you for everything. Okay, well, it's July 2nd, and we're officially into summer. Independence Day is coming up, and our first cash prize winner was a no-show. So the new month means a new winner. If your email address begins Jen Be Sure, Send us an email from that account to literati@literatirecords.com to claim your cash prize. Once again, if your email address begins Jen Beshore, that's JenBeshore, send us an email from that account to literati@literatirecords.com and claim your cash prize. We also encourage you to connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. This is where we interact directly with the larger independent music community. And don't forget, you can always send us an email to literati@literatirecords.com. Let us know what you think about the show, the music, or the artists. Send us suggestions for Local Mix Monday, and we will check them out. I know that was a lot of announcements and whatnot, but it is time to bring on our feature artist, Fingers of the Sun, a fabulous sextet driven by the songwriting partnership of Nathan Brasil and Suzi Allegra. Fingers of the Sun conjure the sounds and harmonies of bands like the Beatles, Beach Boys, and the Mamas and the Papas, while still managing to exude their own unique musical identity. All music on the show today is from the band's 3 EP, available on Hot Congress Records, and a complete track listing can be found in the show notes on our website at www.literatirecords.com. Now, please welcome to the show, Fingers of the Sun. I'm down here at Larimer Lounge with Nathan from Fingers of the Sun. They're going to be firing up and playing tonight with the Matildas and Shannon and the Clams,
Yes.
correct? Well, could you just give us a brief rundown of the other members of the band and their instruments?
Well, I play guitar and sing. And there's Suzi, who's my kind of songwriting partner. We're the ones who started the group. And she sings and plays bass. And then there's Marcus, who plays guitar. Jamie, who plays keyboards. Fez, who plays the drums. And Megan, who sings and does percussion.
Now, for those who might not be familiar, could you give us a brief history of how the band formed and got started?
Well, the way we started is actually Suzi and I have been playing together sort of off and on in bands for the past, 7 years or something. And I've been a big fan of hers just as a songwriter since probably she was 14, 15 years old, and I was about 18. And she used to be in bands like Catatonic Lydia, sort of punk, all-girl bands and stuff, and she played with a friend of mine who actually played in one of my first bands, and I loved her songs. And like years later, I moved to Denver. I was living in Boulder at the time, then I lived in Portland for a while, and I moved to Denver, and Suzi and I, hooked up again and decided we were going to try to play in a band together. So we played with in one band called Games for May. That band kind of went south, and so we played with another band called the Pseudodates that also went south. But Suzi and I managed to sort of stick together even if everyone else sort of left, and so we decided to form Fingers of the Sun.
Well, your 3 EP really allows your collective talents to shine. You guys have great harmonies, solid songs, and veteran musical chops for sure. With a large 6-member band, how do you keep it sounding so cohesive and not just chaotic?
It's incredibly difficult, really. We practice and practice and practice. Here's Suzi, by the way. Actually, here she is. And Marcus. But we practice and practice and practice and work on the arrangements a whole lot. We spend a lot of time working on the arrangements in order to, make sure that people aren't stepping on each other, sonically or whatever. And because we do have 6 people, there's a lot of stuff going on. And so we take a lot of time working together on the arrangements.
Well, we're also joined by Suzi and Marcus, who just got down here. Glad to have them join up with us. Much of your sound seems rooted in 60s and early 70s music. Beatles, Mamas and the Papas, Beach Boys come to mind, without sounding at all dated. Is it a challenge at times to stay true to the sounds you love while still maintaining your own musical identity?
Well, I think it just, when we write, it's more what comes naturally, and I think a lot of that may be because we have some of those influences, like you said, the Mamas and the Papas,
Absolutely.
Beach Boys. We're actually going to record at the studio where Beach Boys' Pet Sounds was recorded.
And Mamas and Papas recorded California Dreamin', as a matter of fact. But I think that it's a matter of, we play what we like. That's really the bottom line, I think, is we play what we like. We We write what we like. And so, so however it comes out, if it sounds sort of 60s or whatever, it's because that's what we like, or that's how we felt, at the time.
However,
it's not completely contrived.
Yeah, however, there's a lot of other things that we like too, so I feel like maybe more recently some of those things are starting to come out in our new songs, I guess.
Well, and that's the thing is it doesn't sound contrived. I mean, you can hear some of the influences,
I don't
but
think so either.
It really, you guys have your own identity completely.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to think so as well.
Yeah, I'd like to think so as well.
That's three. I'd like to think so.
Yeah, well, that's about the best you can do, I think, in a band,
Exactly. There's some agreement right there.
Yeah.
That's unanimous.
Yeah, it's pretty much the best we can do.
Now, in July, you'll be going in to record a full-length album, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, in a couple
And
of days.
that's, as you alluded to, that's at the same studio.
Yeah.
The Papas and Beach Boys did some recording.
Yeah, it's just pet sounds. It's it's just kind of a lucky coincidence that I have a friend that works there, and he was able to get us a good deal, and we've never really recorded in a real studio, so we thought we'd go ahead and go for it, Yeah.
What's the name of the studio?
It's called East West.
East West.
Uh-huh.
Will you be releasing that through Hot Congress as well?
Well, I don't know if it'll be. Hot Congress is the funny thing. I don't think we'd be releasing it through Hot Congress. It's possible that we'll work out something with them.
Maybe a distribution.
But the thing is Hot Congress is more of like at this point, we're working on turning it into something, but it's more of what you'd call, I think, a cooperative at this point, where we all sort of try to help each other, get things out there in the world. But, releasing it through them, we'll probably release it with them and with their help and with the help of all the other people that are involved, absolutely. I think that's probably without a doubt going to be the way it works,
Yeah, and it's all up in the air.
But we don't even know. We need to make a lot of money before we can even put it out. We're breaking. We wanted to do this so bad, that we're sort of breaking the bank just to go doing the recording. So as far as putting it out at all, it's going to be, we're going to have to earn some money and pull some strings and kiss some ass, probably.
Are you going to be working with a producer out there, or just
no,
yourself?
we're going to be doing it ourselves, and whatever input the engineer has, we'll take with a grain of salt, I'm sure. But we're just going to try to do it ourselves. We're going to do it in a fairly quick amount of time, actually. So we'll see. It's who knows? It's all new to us, so it'll be an experiment, basically, an adventure.
Well, do you have anything planned for the new album that may surprise fans, or is it mostly a continuation of the Fingers of the Sun radiance that we've all come to love and expect?
Well, I think it is, in some ways, a little bit of a departure. I think it's still growing on the same sort of thing that we have been doing in a way, but I think a lot of our writing is, I don't know, I feel like
we have been in a really
different.
I think we have been. I don't know if this will surprise. I think it is. We've done every album, or everything that we've done has had a sort of, I think anyway, maybe it's in retrospect, a sort of cohesive nature. And I think that this one has its own sort of thing going on because of the way that Suzi and I have been writing, and all the songs are actually really fresh at this point. We've written them over the past just several months, and up to like the past month or so, and so it's all like new material. It's all kind of at one time. We're all kind of working together at this, the whole group really. And so I think that it has a sort of cohesion that maybe the other albums haven't had, and in that sense, it'll probably be a little different from the other ones. But really, it's up to whoever's listening. When it comes right down to it.
I feel like it's maybe a little more moody than
That's
some of
probably
our
true.
Stuff.
That's probably
More
true.
sass.
Just
A little more
because
sass.
we've been more moody, and sassy.
Is it a challenge sometimes to present such layered and sonically rich music in a live setting?
Yes, it is a challenge.
Absolutely. First of all, a lot of the arrangements, it takes us a long time to work out the vocal arrangements. We do that separate from the music most of the time. And so we spend time working on the musical arrangements and then spend time working on the vocal arrangements with everything. And I mean, it's a lot of pressure on everybody in the group, I think, to be able to try to pull it off every time. But a lot of times we're even thinking sort of beyond what we can perform in some cases, and so it is kind of difficult. Sorry, I forgot the original
Well,
question.
I think it's a challenge to sound people to get the mix right, because I don't think they quite know exactly what to expect, or
Well, they're not
know
used to
that
having
know
3 or
that
4
we're
vocalists.
there's 2 main vocalists and 3 or 4 vocalists, and then all of these different things going on, and I think it's just hard to get a balance where everything
It really is.
stands out at the right amount. And we've had very few experiences where we felt like everything was just perfect, where everything was coming through how we wanted it.
Yeah, we put them
to
to their
sound.
paces, the sound guys. So I think we're probably pretty taxing on the sound guys, just
You
being
gotta
6
do it.
of us and the whole bit.
Will you guys be playing the UMS this year?
Yes,
What day will you be playing?
it's on
Sunday?
Sunday at 7 o'clock at Three Kings.
Yep.
Any other tour plans this summer, or just to go out and record?
Not at this point. We're doing. This is it's kind of exciting. It's a little nostalgic, but kind of exciting. We're doing a show where we're going to cover Neil Young's album After the Gold Rush in its entirety on the 31st of July.
That's
and
cool.
we're pretty excited about that. Just as like a fun, interesting thing to do, a little outside of our general thing.
Where's that going to be at?
That's going to be at the High Dive, I think.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
that'll be really fun. And we've got some other shows and things we're doing. I think we're really going to try to finish the album up and then maybe tour after that. But at this point, we haven't got any real, tour plans. It was kind of with all of our work schedules and our workaday lives. We've had to. We're like, okay, we're going to go record, and that's our time off for the moment. And then we're going to have to try to maybe tour to back that up when we're done with the album completely.
Yeah,
What
we're
was
trying
six-
to just take everything tiny steps at a time right now. And
Yeah.
With 6 members, it's probably tougher trying to coordinate so many schedules.
It really is. I mean, also if you think about 6 people out of work for 2 weeks or something, you know what I mean? That's a lot of money.
Well, some of us were out of work to begin with.
That's
but-
true. I certainly was, but it's hard to tell someone to give up their their job for 2 weeks, and we've already done it for a week for this recording, so we're all like pulling together for this whole thing, and we're gonna try. I mean, that's definitely the idea in the end, is to do that, but we're still working people basically.
What track off your 3 EP should I close this interview with? Do you have a
Oh
favorite?
man, that's tough. Marcus, you pick one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite one out of the EP? He did the artwork, by the way.
Cool
For it,
artwork.
yeah.
Definitely cool artwork.
Play Static Summer.
All right. Static Summer.
Good choice.
Static Summer.
Static Summer it is.
All right.
All right, Marcus, Nathan, Suzi, thank you for
Thank you, Mark.
being with us, and have a great show tonight. Looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
thank you
Yeah,
very
thank
much.
you.
Thanks.
There's not a single thing for
super drunk.
Danced around, smiled a lot.
Was what life was all about.
Just do stupid, irresponsible things.
Staying out late, prowling coffee shops and parks. All alone at home with headphones in the dark. Nothing much has changed.
Wave around fake guns and try to pick up girls.
Everything's the same.
So
Red.
Growing older, I'm growing to reflect. Now it's money on my mind, along with all the sex. Had a dream about a girl from way back when. Had a crush on her, but we were only friends. Made a pass, but was denied.
And then,
I don't know. Maybe
Jesus Christ, at least I tried.
and I fell out of his truck onto the ground in a parking lot.
Growing older, I'm growing to reflect. Now it's